Hey guys, I'm back. Today we're going to talk about setting up your gear for Twitch streaming, YouTube recording, content creation, stuff like that. If you guys did not view my first video on what gear I recommend for you to purchase, I do encourage you to go back and look at that. It should be #1 in the playlist. It also has #1 over here. Also, guys, if you enjoy the stuff I'm creating, make sure you're leaving likes on my videos and you're subscribing to my channel. That way you can see everything I got going on in here. Alright? I'm also here to help anybody that's just starting up. Shoot me a message or comment on one of my videos in reference to something, and I'll be more than happy to respond to anything and give you any answers that I can, or put you in the right direction for an answer. So, like I said, today we are covering how to set up your gear. It's one of the hardest things to do when you're first starting off because it's just a shit ton of wires and a bunch of equipment, and you're like, okay, how does this work? We're going to make it work. I'm also going to give you guys a reference chart in the video. That way you can pause the video at any point in time and see exactly which way connections are going. I make it pretty easy and straightforward. So, if you need to know how to set up your gear, stick around and we will get you covered. Okay, so we're going to start off with a blank reference chart. I got a bunch of these, just kind of showing you the connections in singular form, and then I have a huge reference chart with everything on it. And this is pretty much it. It's only a handful of items. It's not bad. If you guys want to see how the final product looks, check the last video. That's my gear rig setup. Also, you can go to my Twitch channel and see how everything coincides with one another to create content or to create a stream. So, everything on screen here is what you're going to need. If you didn't watch the last video, then you need to go back, check it out, because I explain everything that you're going to need to do this. So, we're going to start off with talking connections and what you need. I got everything color coded right here to make your life easy. This is simple. It really is. Boom. HDMI connections all listed in red here. You're going to have an HDMI going from the PS4 to the Elgato. That's putting your video and audio to the Elgato, and you're going to shove it over to the gaming monitor. Sounds easy, right? You're also going to have at least one HDMI going from your computer to a secondary monitor if you're mocking my setup. I do use a laptop, so laptop is screen 1, secondary monitor is screen 2. That's it. It just plugs in and it goes. Going over the USB connections, now there's a few more of these, and it's still not hard. There's only 5. I have a USB going from the headset to the PS4 Pro. Now that's just powering the headset. It's not giving me any audio. You can also plug the headset into your computer for power, or if your monitor has a USB out on it that can has enough power going through it to push it to the headset and actually work, then go for it. It works because it's not going to do anything with the audio. The other USB connection to the PS4 is, of course, your Blue Snowball. Now, this one is, once again, I covered it in the last video, but it's how people are going to hear you when playing multiplayer or just doing party chat in the PS4. Since this whole setup revolves around the audio going to the Elgato and not through your headset at first, the headset on the Turtle Beach just doesn't work. So you need this to be able to speak to people. Now, you're going to take a USB cord. There's one in the box. And go from the Elgato to the computer, and that's how the computer is registering everything you're doing in game. It's straightforward. The software is what's going to actually show you what you're doing there. It also powers the Elgato, so if you don't have it plugged in, it's not going to work, and you're not going to get any video audio to your TV when playing. So that's important. That's the key thing here. The other two connections to the computer are, of course, the secondary microphone. I do have a Blue Snowball up there. They're cheap. They sound good. Why not? And then your webcam is, of course, USB connection based. It's simple. The software part's what gets you, and I'll cover that in a later video here, but today we're only covering this. And then the last thing is your 3.5mm or your auxiliary inputs for headphones. This is where you get the audio for your Turtle Beach. I literally just plugged it into the monitor there because my monitor has an headphone out slot. Most monitors that you can use for computers do, because usually you plug in computer speakers into them. So we'll just abuse that for the headset here. The other one is I do have way up there connected to the computer a pair of headphones. Now, I stream with music playing. I do song requests on my Twitch channel. So, you know, I got to be able to hear it, and that's how I do it. I'll show you how to do that in a later setup, and of course, if you guys want to check that out, twitch.tv/Verhoof91games. I'll leave a link in the description below, because spelling my last name is not that easy. And without further ado, I'll remove myself from this portion. This is the full reference chart of everything. That way you can pause the video right here and just set up everything if you're more visual versus audio learning here. That's it. It's a handful of connections, a lot of clutter of wires, so make sure that you guys are organizing yourselves and not putting yourselves in a hole. That way if you have to make changes or do anything, you're not fumbling through wires and like 3 different connections. Twist ties, zip ties, anything you can do to wrap your cable up and tie it off is perfect in this setup. Now that you have this reference chart, next video we're going to cover how to set all this up through the Elgato and the OBS softwares. Now I'm going to do OBS first because that's what I use, and honestly I think it's got more options than the Elgato software, but the Elgato software is nice to record in 1080p at 60 frames a second if you choose to do that. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you're liking this video and you're subscribing to get notification when that video happens. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out. Also, guys, if you have any questions, concerns with anything in this video on how to do something, or if I missed something that you need, please comment down below, or you can go to my Facebook or Twitter and shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to cover anything I can to help you guys, and if it's something extensive, I'll just create another video. It takes me a handful of minutes to do this and to tell you guys how to do pretty much anything you need to know. Anyways, that is all I have for this. You guys have the reference chart. Just go back like a minute and pause the video, refer to it, get everything set up, shoot me messages if you need something, and until next time, guys, peace. Yeah.